There is a moment before transformation where everything seems still, where nothing moves, and yet something deep inside begins to shift, like a breath beneath the surface, like a golden flame whispering beneath the ashes. It is not chaos that brings change. It is not loudness, not speed. True change begins in silence. You won't find it in the noise of the world, but in the quiet tension behind your eyes, in the strange pull you've been feeling, to go inward, to remember, to listen again. If you're watching this, it means something inside you is already stirring, and that signal, that soft, almost imperceptible call is the sign that the alchemy has already begun. Stay with me, because what we're about to explore could change not only the way you move through life, but the very vibration you carry it into. Transformation doesn't announce itself with thunder. It begins like a whisper in the bones, a sense that something is shifting, even if nothing around you has changed. In Hermetic wisdom, all things begin in the unseen, in vibration, thought, resonance. Before a tree breaks through the soil, it wrestles in the dark with itself. So too do you. This subtle stirring is not your imagination. It is the return of the inner alchemist, the part of you that has always known how to transmute fear into strength, doubt into clarity, and time into gold. But first, it waits, and it watches, because true change is not imposed. It must be chosen. Not with the voice of your mind, but with the flame of your will. So if lately you've been feeling off, disconnected from the world, unable to explain the ache in your spirit, it might not be a breakdown. It might be a signal, a sign that the old self is cracking and the soul is waking. The question is, will you listen to the silence? Most people fear the stillness. They mistake it for emptiness. But the alchemist knows stillness is the forge, where nothing seems to happen, yet everything is being made new. In the ancient texts, Negredo, the first phase of alchemical transmutation, is darkness, confusion, decay, but not destruction. It is preparation. Just as winter protects the seed until it's strong enough to rise, the soul enters stillness before it blooms. Your confusion is not failure, it is fermentation, a sacred rot dissolving what no longer serves you. But the ego doesn't like this part. It wants light without shadow, growth without rest, gold without fire. Yet, in truth, your power is being condensed in the unseen, compressed like coal becoming diamond. This is why when everything slows down, when clarity fades and direction dissolves, you are actually closest to transmutation. So don't rush the winter. Honor it, because the gold you seek is only found after the freeze. And if you've been walking through this inner winter, what lesson has the stillness whispered to you? Pain is not the enemy. It is the fire beneath the crucible. When it arrives, it carries a coded message, revealing your attachments, your illusions, and the places where you have been resisting your own evolution. But most run from it. They numb it, deny it, bury it. Yet the alchemist, he leans in, because pain, when faced with awareness, becomes a forge. It burns the lead of your past, not to punish you, but to purify you. In Hermetic terms, this is the law of vibration meeting the principle of polarity. Your suffering contains its own opposite. It can either destroy you or refine you. The choice is yours. Will you allow pain to harden you into stone or melt you into gold? Remember, the flame doesn't burn the gold. It only removes what isn't gold. So, if something in your life is hurting, instead of asking, "Why me?" ask, "What is this trying to purify?" That is the question of the alchemist. There's a part of you that wants to stay in comfort, and there's a part that knows you're meant to rise. Between these two forces, the inner battle begins. The undisciplined mind clings to pleasure, avoids pain, seeks ease. But the soul is made of different material. It is not moved by momentary emotion, but by eternal resonance. In Hermetic practice, discipline is not punishment, it's alignment. It's the art of commanding your own vessel rather than being a passenger of cravings and fears. This is the moment when lead is separated from gold. When you act from your highest self, even when it's hard, even when no one sees. Because every time you choose presence over distraction, restraint over indulgence, courage over comfort, you alchemize another ounce of your being. The fire refines the metal, but the will directs the flame. What part of your life is asking for discipline, not desire? You don't need a temple to find the sacred. You are the temple. In ancient Hermetic schools, students were taught to treat every gesture, every movement, as an invocation. Brushing your teeth, washing your hands, sweeping your space. Each act becomes a ritual if done with intention. Why? Because form shapes thought, and thought is the architect of reality. The environment you create around you becomes a mirror of what you carry within. So, when your room is chaotic, it reflects your inner clutter. When your breath is shallow, your mind is scattered. But when you choose order, when you move slowly, deliberately, present in each task, you begin to command vibration. And that is the start of magic. Nothing is mundane in the eyes of the alchemist. Everything is a gateway. What ordinary moment will you turn sacred today? The legends speak of the philosopher's stone, a mythical object that turns lead into gold. But what if that stone is not a thing, but a state of being? The Hermetic initiate discovers that the real stone is forged through inner mastery. Mastery over impulses, over reactive thoughts, over the ego that craves recognition and control. True strength isn't measured by how much you lift, but by how often you choose peace over pride, presence over panic, truth over comfort. And these victories, they happen in silence. No applause, no spotlight. Just you in the sacred quiet of your own awareness. Each time you pause before speaking in anger, each time you resist the urge to escape your discomfort, each time you choose the higher path, you polish the stone within. The philosopher's stone is not found, it is formed. And its power, not to create gold outside, but to become gold inside. How have you practiced silent strength this week?
The world spins, the mind races, but the alchemist remains still. This doesn't mean immobility. It means stillness in motion, like the center of a spiral. In Hermetic thought, movement and stillness are not opposites. They are layers of the same energy. The key is harmony. Walk with awareness. Speak with intention. Move without losing your center. When you live like this, you no longer react. You respond. You become like the calm flame that dances without burning, like water that flows around obstacles but never loses its depth. This presence is not passive, it's powerful, because when others are swept away by noise, you remain rooted. You become the still point in the chaos, the axis around which the world turns. To the untrained eye, you are slow, but to the mystic, you are precise, conscious, alive. When was the last time you felt truly present, not just existing, but being?
Most people fear letting go. They believe it means failure, or weakness, or loss. But to the alchemist, letting go is not an end. It's a transformation. When a metal is placed into fire, its old form must melt, so a higher one can emerge. So too with your identity, your pain, your story. What you release with intention and awareness doesn't disappear. It evolves. It returns to you in another vibration. Lighter, cleaner, more aligned with who you are becoming. This is not abandonment. It's rebirth. But it takes courage. Because before the gold shines, the lead must dissolve. And that moment, the in-between, feels like death. But it's not. It's the alchemy. Letting go is not giving up. It is opening your hands so you can receive something higher. What are you holding on to that is asking to be transmuted?
Many seek purpose like a treasure buried in a distant land. They wait for signs or for someone to reveal it. But Hermetic wisdom tells another story. Purpose is not something you find, it's something you forge with each small act of alignment, with each step taken from the soul, with each day you choose truth over illusion. Like a blade in the fire, purpose is shaped through resistance, sharpened through repetition, polished through devotion. And sometimes you won't even know it's forming, because purpose doesn't always feel like passion. It often feels like persistence. Brushing your inner temple each morning, sitting in silence when no one is watching, speaking truth in moments where silence would be easier. These are the hammer strikes, the etchings on the gold. Your destiny is not waiting for you. It is being carved by you right now. So ask yourself, what action can I take today that my future self will bow to?
We've been taught to seek change outside, a new job, a new lover, a new beginning. But true alchemy begins where the eyes cannot see, within. The Hermetic principle says, as within, so without. The mirror of your world reflects the mirror of your soul, and if your outer life feels stagnant, it is not because nothing is happening. It is because the inner transmutation is not yet complete. You are not late. You are not broken. You are fermenting. Be still, not passive, but inwardly attentive. Your thoughts are metals, your emotions, elements, and your awareness is the fire. Every breath is a chance to begin the work, not someday, but now. You don't need more information, you need more introspection. The next time you feel the urge to fix everything around you, ask, what needs to be remembered within me first? Because the alchemist doesn't chase, he creates.
The calendar means nothing to the soul, but to the alchemist, certain moments carry an energetic gateway. The end of July feels like such a threshold, not because the stars shift, but because you are shifting. Cycles are closing, timelines are dissolving, and you are being asked to choose. Will you continue walking asleep, repeating patterns forged in fear? Or will you awaken and rewrite the code of your vibration? This is not dramatic, it is subtle. Like choosing silence over noise, simplicity over rush, alignment over achievement. And though no one else may notice, your future self will remember this moment, because it is in the unseen decisions that destiny is rewritten. Thresholds don't scream, they whisper. And right now, life is whispering, the path is opening. Are you ready to walk it?
Here is the truth you've been waiting for. You are not missing anything. You are not behind. You are not unprepared. The flame has already been lit long ago inside you. It may have been buried by time, silenced by doubt, but it never went out. It was waiting for this very moment. Not a sign from the sky, not a loud breakthrough, but a quiet remembrance that you are the alchemist. You are the scroll. You are the fire. You are the gold. And the path, it is not out there. It begins the moment you take the next breath, consciously, sacredly. So do not wait for the world to validate your journey. Do not wait for certainty to walk. Walk, and the ground will appear beneath your feet. Speak, and the spell will begin. Choose, and the work will begin working you. Because you were never lost. You were only asleep. And now you are waking.
If this message spoke to something hidden inside you, then you've just remembered something ancient. Tell me in the comments, what part of your inner fire are you reclaiming now? Was it discipline, stillness, letting go, or finally listening to the signal that's been calling you for lifetimes? This is a channeling, but it is also a ritual. Each video a step in the great work. So return to this space whenever your light dims. And if you feel called, share this with someone who's walking their own hidden path. Because when we remember together, the world begins to change from within. Welcome to the path, alchemist. The flame is yours now. Guard it well.